Thank you all for being here today. I'm so thankful for this time to tell you about spiritual care at Rogers and to share with you a few remarks from our patients who seek us out to incorporate faith and spirituality into their mental health journeys. By us, I mean the chaplains that make up the spiritual care department. In addition to myself, the program consists of 3 very dedicated individuals, Ken and Kelly, who you've already met this afternoon, and Jeremy, who you'll meet in just a few minutes. When I think of the spiritual care team and the wealth of education and experience we bring to our patients, I feel incredibly proud. Each of us has completed or is in the process of earning advanced degrees. Chaplain Ken earned his PhD over 9 years ago. As Kelly just mentioned, she just graduated with her master's degree. Chaplain Jeremy just graduated with his doctoral degree, and I am also working on a PhD. We as a team provide a solid foundation for supporting our patients' spiritual needs. I also want to take this time to express my gratitude to my manager, Barbara Brockmeyer, Rogers Senior Vice President of Operations for Southeast Wisconsin. Barbara unconditionally supports the work of Rogers Spiritual Care. Thank you, Barbara.
Yes.
You all beat me to the punch. I was going to ask you to clap later, but that was awesome. We also have quite a few Rogers staff with us today. Would you mind just giving them a hand? Thank you. 2024 marks the 27th year of spiritual care at Rogers, as you've already heard. During this time, it has grown from a pilot program at a single location to an established department that makes thousands of spiritual contacts every year at our Oconomowoc, West Dallas, and Brown Deer campuses. There are many ways in which the spiritual care team connects spiritually with our patients. First, we offer individual and group sessions to our patients. In a few minutes, you will learn more from Chaplain Jeremy about what patients take away from those sessions. Second, we schedule for our patients virtual or in-person visits with a clergy member of their choice, as in a rabbi, priest, pastor, Eucharistic minister, and imam, for example. Third, for patients who can go off-site, we provide information on local houses of worship, including churches, synagogues, temples, and mosques, and we connect patients to virtual services as well. Fourth, we hold worship services on Christian holidays, Ash Wednesday, Good Friday, Easter, and Christmas. And in the past 2 years, we have increased our support for our Jewish patients by offering events celebrating Purim, the high holidays, Sukkot, and Hanukkah. Finally, resource libraries with inspirational books and devotionals are available in our chapels for our patients and their families. And now, the best part, some data. In just the first quarter of 2024, so January 1st to March 31st, our data shows the spiritual care team made 781 patient contacts in groups and engaged in 338 individual spiritual consults, which is an average of 28 completed spiritual consults per week. Additionally, 273 patients and staff attended the Ash Wednesday, Good Friday, and Easter services. 163 resources were provided to our patients, including Bibles, Jewish prayer books, Qurans, inspirational coloring sheets, printed prayers, and information on local churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples. 17 patients and staff attended the Purim party, and 16 clergy visits occurred, which included on-site visits from rabbis, priests, pastors, Eucharistic ministers, and more. I just want to point out that's just the first 3 months of 2024. So Rogers Spiritual Care is on track to have one of our most effective years yet, which means even more patients will experience needed spiritual encouragement, support, and compassion. It is also important to remember that behind every number is a person with a heart and a soul, often at one of the toughest times of their lives. Their world has become unmanageable, and they look to Rogers and spiritual care as a light in the storm. At this time, I'd like to share just a few words and a brief patient story illustrating the impact that spiritual care has had on our patients' treatment journeys. An adolescent patient dealing with depression said this, quote, "You are an impactful individual, and you were instrumental in helping me learn more about my faith. Continue to do the good works of the Lord. You challenged my life by opening my soul to Christ our Lord," end quote. An adult resident dealing with substance abuse issues stated about one of our chaplains, quote, "You have touched so many people's lives here. They're all talking about it," end quote. And finally, an adult patient who attended the Purim party, Good Friday, and Easter services expressed they had not attended church in over a decade, and all of these services had spoken to them. They also remarked they were so grateful spiritual care had provided these spiritual events while they were in treatment. Clearly, from these situations and comments, spiritual care was an integral part of our patients' treatment journeys that may have had a lasting impact on their lives. At this time, it is my honor to introduce my colleague and newest member of the Rogers Spiritual Care team, Dr. Jeremy Wells. Jeremy is a 30-year veteran of the United States Air Force, a board-certified chaplain and registered yoga teacher, and 2 weeks ago, Jeremy graduated from Vanderbilt University with his doctorate in integrative chaplaincy. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jeremy Wells.